Students/teachers of Reddit, what's the best forgot to turn off the mic story during virtual learning? During a virtual gym class for my high school, a girl forgot to mute herself during a workout and yelled some obscene things very loudly. It never occurred to me that there would be virtual gym class, but it makes sense, I guess. Also, they should allow obscenity in schools, especially in gym class. Creative writing and computer programming can confirm programming is a bitch. Edit, workers/bosses can comment too. Wasn't thinking about that when I posted the main thread. My son calls his tablet his fix because when I first got it and the battery would die, I'd tell him I was going to fix it. So imagine his pre-K teacher's surprise last spring when he asked me if he could have his fix now that he was done with school. Lol, I cracked up, held up the fix in question, and explained what he meant. I cracked up, held up the fix in question. Dude, my one teacher forgot to turn off his camera and his son was changing in the background and the son kept on looking at the camera. I remember a similar question where a mom answered that she was taking a Zoom call in the garden, until a co-worker mentioned that there was a naked kid skateboarding behind her. I aspire to be like naked skateboarding kid. My friend was playing porn on his phone at 3/4 volume and I forgot to turn the mic off. Not really turn off the mic, but you know that feature of pressing the spacebar to talk? Well, someone in my class was too used to pressing the spacebar to pause a video and mistakenly pressed it to pause the class to speak to someone in their home but would instead say nonsense while the teacher was speaking. This happened several times. BTW. I'm a student, and my teacher was talking to his wife at first. Pretty normal, right? Well, she leaves, then he gets on the phone and says, "Yeah honey, my wife just left, wanna come over?" The entire class went batshit bro. The plot thickens. Ironically, my IT teacher forgot to turn off his mic and camera and proceeded to get in a very heated argument on the phone with his ex-girlfriend who he has a kid with. Did I mention that she's also a teacher at our school? Yeah, most awkward 5 minutes of my life before he realized. Probably also the most awkward 5 minutes of his life. This isn't a turn off mic story, but it's as awkward. YouTube has those targeted ads that play. My cooking teacher left the room while playing a YouTube video of how to peel an orange with a knife. Targeted ad starts playing and an advert for shaving balls turns on. He comes back inside the room and fast walks over to the computer and skips the ad. Everyone avoided eye contact and it was probably the most awkward experience in school. I get a million of those ads and never once have I searched for or desired such a product. It's like Google Ads, in its infinite wisdom, determined I am male and that all men need this product. You won't be getting any flesh wounds with Manscaped. Somebody in my class forgot to turn off the mic and started singing along to a song and loudly. Somebody told her and there was this odd oop noise and then she cut off. A student's mother had the habit of standing just off camera and very closely observing her kid. I know this because one time the student forgot to disable the mic. Everyone heard how the mother was coaching the student how to act. Don't look my way, smile, pay attention. It was next level helicoptering, right on the edge of abuse in my opinion. Our school has a good counselor and the student is getting help. All the teachers have been advised to limit contact with the mother and not make waves, lest she withdraw the student or redouble her controlling behavior. I worry about it, and here's my cousin on Facebook angrily posting about how schools who advise parents not to hover are obviously trying to abuse or miseducate kids, and if your school sends a letter home asking all parents to give their student space for learning, then you should immediately withdraw your child from school. Well, it happened in one of the classes. The teacher was going through a rough time and the class could feel it. We assured her that we had done our homework and that she could take rest for the time being. She agreed and told she would switch her mic off and sleep for a while, as we did whatever. Her husband was right beside her and the mic wasn't turned off. She told, "I am so lucky to have these students," and started sobbing to her husband. We all heard this, but kept quiet to prevent her being embarrassed. She slept well during that time and we sent her a thank you gift collectively. I'm not a student, but work in the tech industry. I've been in meetings where people forget to mute themselves on large company calls, with hundreds or thousands of attendees, and we'll hear a fart and then a toilet flush. That's about as interesting as these meetings get though. Board of Education meetings. I was producing a video for some university professors on a specific medical thing for a virtual learning course. I was all set up to shoot the process, and the teachers excused themselves to the next office to regroup and have a chat. I already had their wireless lav mics attached and fed to my camera, so when I sat down at the camera and put on my headphones I immediately heard their conversation. They were criticizing me, saying they couldn't believe they hired someone so young, inexperienced in that particular medical field, how I looked, how I asked questions, etc. Oops. At least I made them a fine video. These days I don't put my headphones on until we're about to shoot. Oh, that's so sad. I hope you proved them wrong big time with an amazing video. This isn't too bad, but yesterday during our stretch break in the middle of our 1.5-hour English class, I remembered to turn off my video, but not my mic, so everyone heard me watching the SparkNotes video for the book we were discussing. Username checks out. Once my teacher sent the same task 89 times. I was listening to a radio station where they call up someone who won't call a person back after a date and find out why. This dude was like, I work with this chick, we had a good time, she won't call me back. They call her, and she explained that on one of their Zoom meetings he didn't pause his camera and started manscaping his penis/ass, and everyone in the company saw him shave his asshole. To no surprise, she did not accept another date. I'm confused and have many questions. Was he taking the meeting from inside his bathroom, or was he shaving his asshole like at the kitchen table? Are we talking like a wet shave, or an electric, or what? Did he do it blind? Was he using the computer camera as a mirror? Did the whole meeting happen at waist level, or was the camera adjusted? Probably took the computer to the bathroom so he could still see the meeting/unmute if he was called upon. This video I think should solve some questions for you. https://www.youtube.com/watch v equals SO5H6FIFARI https://www.youtube.com/watch v equals SO5H6FIFI. My GF unmuted herself when I joked to her mum about just killing myself. Her teacher was confused as heck. Not really a Mike story, but a friend of mine Facebook stalked a cute guy in their tute, before realizing she was still screen sharing. And this is why you always stalk people on a different device. Was in training before classes started this year. 200-ish teachers. Only principal and AP were speaking. Teacher has her mic unmuted, phone rings, picks it up and says, "Hey. Yeah. Just sitting here in another one of these goddamn trainings, online class student here." Probably when your classmate got bored and starting watching YouTube in the middle of sessions on that strict teacher. And entire class got pretty hard warnings since the teacher can sense you immediately when you got bored by switching your attention to other things behind those screen. My college class got to hear me tell my dog about how good he is. Edit, proof https://www.reddit.com/r/by__name/f41it/_underscore/@_m_cat__name=_i_osmf. Of goodness. I'm a student. I was in an online class, and while I had the camera turned off but the microphone did not, I was seeing memes when suddenly a meme appeared in which the typical moaning joke appeared, only they were not the typical ones, if not others. Then the whole class heard it, and the teacher preferred not to leave comments. Oh man, this is perfect. I have a story from earlier this week. We were doing the usual syllabus week introductions, and after his introduction this guy must have thought he had muted his mic because he let out the hugest fart, ha ha ha. Folks couldn't help but laugh and he quit out of the group session. Honestly waiting to see if he's still in the class or if he dropped it. Haha, hilarious. I haven't seen too many bad ones, but the amount of parents overheard is insane. I'm a tutor, and my student forgot to mute themselves before leaving for a 5 minutes break. She had a beautiful conversation with her brother about how much of a cunt I was, and how much I sucked and how poor I look/my house look. Luckily, I always record my tutoring sessions, so I finish as if nothing happened, and sent the clip straight to my supervisor. She got booted off of the tutoring program, as I'm the only tutor advanced enough for her grade that is able to take her. In a thermodynamics class, one of the students said, "Holy shit, this is so much," after covering a large set of equations related to fugacity. Everyone found it relatable. Haha, fugacity. Your comment is the funniest out of all the ones I've read. Not virtual, but I was a guest speaker at a music college last year. My mic was still on when I finished, went backstage and said, "Well, that was fucking horrible." I wasn't called back to speak again. The students probably loved it. Can confirm, am student, would have loved it. During my English class, this one girl forgot to mute herself. While my teacher was talking, she almost deafened all of us on the Zoom call answering her mother's questions. Her mother, from a distance, "What class are you in?" Yelling, "English." Her mother, "Oh, the hot teacher?" "Yeah, that guy now." Even I'll admit my teacher is fairly attractive, but it does take it to another level when you get your own mother involved. Thankfully, our teacher is a chill guy and thought the whole thing was just kind of funny, and kind of just gave a general reminder to the class to keep mics muted. She didn't say anything for the rest of the class. Hell, it probably made his week. Work situation. I asked a question on Zoom from someone and he didn't answer, no video on. I asked again to confirm he was there, silence. "Hello?" He then panics and says, "Sorry, I'm peeing. Did I need to know that?" I didn't. Hey, at least he was honest about it. True dat. In a math class I was in last year, we were taking a test, which you have to turn your mic on for, their way of trying to prevent cheating. Some girl apparently forgot that hers was on and started belting out "Stand By You" by Rachel Platten at the top of her lungs. It went on for the entire song and she was still humming it when I finished the test and left the call.